Carlo Ancelotti became the first head coach to win 4 Champions League titles. His 4-3-3 shape and tactics and strategies whilst in possession and attacking the opposition will be analysed here, as part of the Team Tactics series. Feel free to check out the playlist for other analysis on some of the best head coaches at the elite level. Looking specifically at the 21-22 Champions League, Madrid topped their group, winning 5 games and losing once. In the knockout rounds, Madrid then had a very tough run to reach the final. In the round of 16, they defeated French champions PSG 3-2, before beating holders Chelsea 5-4 in the quarter-finals. Madrid then faced English champions Manchester City in the semi-finals, winning 6-5, before a much less thrilling final as Madrid ran out 1-0 winners over Liverpool, securing their 14th title. However, the total of 11 goals which Real conceded in the knockout matches was the most recorded by any of the past winners from the previous 15 years. Therefore, this video will look exclusively at Real Madrid's tactics and strategies when in possession. From the 4-3-3, Courtois was the first choice goalkeeper, with Mendy and Carvajal at fullback and Alaba and Militao as central defenders. Casemiro, Kroos and Modric were the first choice central midfield trio, with Vinicius attacking from the left, supporting Benzema as the centre forward. Rodrigo was used from the right, as was Asensio. Valverde was also used in central midfield, often pushing Kroos into the number 4 role, but also having spells attacking as the right midfielder. When building, Madrid would often get the central defender to take the goal kicks, passing it into Courtois. From here, Kroos would drop to support Casemiro, forming a double pivot, as Modric would then readjust, allowing Benzema to drop from his centre-forward position, creating a box or diamond midfield. With the opposition then man-marking these fluid central movements, one winger often pushed inside to press one of Madrid's centre-backs. The opposition would also push a full-back higher to cover one of Madrid's full-backs. Should the centre-back then follow to cover Madrid's winger, with the other drawn in by Benzema's movements, runs across and beyond from Real's 2 wingers were often found by direct passes over the opposing press. This can be seen here away at PSG. Alternatively, when building, both of Madrid's number 8s would drop towards the ball, giving more shorter passing options around Casemiro. In some games, Benzema moved across to work closer to Vinicius on the left, attempting to overload the opposing right-back and also pull one centre-back across. As Mendy pushed forward from left-back to support, Carvajal at right-back would only advance once the right winger had narrowed significantly. When this was Valverde, he acted as a 4th central midfielder, helping overload an opposing trio, whilst also giving Real a central presence in place of Benzema. This was seen best in the final against Liverpool. As seen across many of the seasons prior, Kroos would drop out into the left inside channel. Mendy, Vinicius and Benzema would continue with those movements mentioned prior, with Modric also advancing to support the rotations on the right side. Kroos was particularly strong as a progressor through the lines, with Benzema naturally a key target, especially as he moved away from the centre. Should this passing lane be covered though, Modric was usually available between the lines to link and connect. Against Inter, Modric took up the Kroos role on the left-hand side, with Benzema dropping away from the opposing centre-backs. Right winger Vázquez has also aggressively moved inwards, creating plenty of space for Carvajal to push forward on the right side. Further support from play into a withdrawn Benzema was found as Vinicius moved in behind and across, ending in the penalty area as a key goal threat, but then also from Mendy overlapping from left-back. As seen prior versus Inter, Carvajal often had huge spaces to push into the right side, with further rotations between the right winger and Modric supporting the central spaces, especially with Benzema linking on the left. These runs beyond from Real's left side can be seen here against Chelsea, with Carvajal also high and wide on Madrid's right side. Against more compact lower blocks, both of Madrid's wingers would push inside, as both Mendy and Carvajal then advance into high positions. Madrid excelled at central midfield combinations though, with some of the most fluid and well-timed rotations in world football. These often focused on a setback from one of the front line, as Kroos and Modric repeatedly adjusted their positioning. Casemiro would also adapt accordingly to the 2 number 8s, creating passing lanes by luring one of the opposing midfielders before finding their free fullbacks. Central runs then supported the wide play around. Against Shakhtar, both of Madrid's wingers have narrowed to support Benzema, with Mendy overlapping and Kroos, Modric and Casemiro all rotating centrally. Another pattern of movement from the midfield trio involved Casemiro pushing forward and both 8s dropping deeper. forming a double pivot. If you're interested in how different teams form double pivots with movements such as this example, then check out the double pivot evolution video found in the micro tactics playlist. But back with Real Madrid, this triangle is then flipped as both fullbacks push forward to create the attacking width. Moving inwards as they reach the final third, but also overlapping as seen prior, Madrid's attacking rotations often broke down the majority of blocks they faced. This is seen again at home to Inter Milan in the group stage, where Carvajal and Rodrigo and Mendy and Vinicius attack as wide pairs around the flipped central midfield triangle. Finally, Madrid's narrow front line again allowed their fullbacks to overlap, but further rotations in central midfield saw Modric also act as a number 10 briefly, with the 4 and other number 8 now forming the protective double pivot. From here, central play into the front line worked off Modric's movements between the lines, but even as the Croatian was heavily pressed or counter-pressed in these areas, and passing options sometimes proved limited, he still managed to secure possession before releasing into a teammate underneath, who then worked the ball away from pressure. This was a particularly strong standout feature of Madrid's performances throughout the Champions League, with Modric as the 10 away at Manchester City. Although the quality of Benzema and Vinicius from the left helped Real outscore most of their opponents, it was the central midfield trio of Kroos, Modric and Casemiro which led Real to another Champions League victory in one of the hardest runs through the knockout phases in recent memory. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, comment, share and subscribe, and don't forget to suggest any new ideas for the channel. Please also check out the latest book from the channel titled Football in a Pandemic, with a link available in the description.